Roll call, Dr. Maldonado.
Thank you so much. Good to see everybody. We'll start with roll call. I'll start with Mrs. Smith,
Present.
Mr. Hunt,
Present.
Mrs. Vega,
Present.
Mrs. Zulu Joe,
Present.
Mr. Velador.
Present.
All right, perfect attendance. We can get started. Thanks for being here.
All right, can we get an approval for the agenda as printed?
So moved.
We have motion and second, please vote. That passes 5-0. Item 4, reports, informational items, and discussion. A, 2026-2027, adopted budget 45-day update. Dr. Francis Hufandu.
Thank you. I would like to call on Lisa Jalika. Did I get it right? Yes, I did. Close. Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Board President Velador, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Dr. Maldonado, and Cabinet. Oh, yes, thank you. Today, we have the 45-day revision to the 26-27 adopted budget. I feel like it is. I'll lean in. Okay. Good thing I took this badge off, otherwise I'd be jingling along. Okay. Education code requires that school districts, if we have adopted our budget by July 1st, that any material revisions, that we make those within 45 days, and that 45-day date is August 13th, so you're seeing me today, August 4th. The state budget did have several different highlights, most of which we actually did capture in our 26-27 adopted budget, but the state highlights are noted here. So the biggest things here is the statutory COLA of 2.87% being applied to the local control funding formula along with the equity multiplier, child nutrition, the mandated block grant, special education, and the additional 1.44% additional investment in LCFF that is intended to cover the gap and mitigate the impacts of declining enrollment, as well as absorb the costs of the new paid pregnancy disability leave requirement. One of the updates with that pregnancy paid disability leave is that the effective date was moved from being July 1st, 2026 to January 1st, 2027. The local reserve cap is still in effect for the 26-27 budget. We did already factor in the per ADA of $1,340 of our special education base rate. We also did include in the adopted budget the student support and professional development discretionary block grant, but additional aspects of that were that it has extended the expenditure deadline for 2 more years to expend those funds, and it also has an additional requirement for districts like ours with declining enrollment that we need to hold a public hearing to address the declining enrollment impacts on our district. That is including but not limited to school site closures and consolidations, and an additional stipulation that indicates that no employees are charged for professional development costs, including those for beginning teacher induction programs. We did capture the Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant revenues in our original adopted budget. The other 2 bullets on here, Measure ER, which is the Essential Services Restoration Act, has the sales and use tax rate for the Palmdale School District. It is increasing. It's this county rate that's increasing by 0.5 percentage point effective October 1st. So that does impact the Palmdale School District because we're located in LA County. And then come October 1st, we will have the highest sales and use tax rate in the entire United States. The impact of that is noted on some future slides. Also, there was a budget trailer bill that changed the definition of tangible personal property. It expanded it to include some digital products. So specifically, pre-written or canned software would now be considered taxable regardless of how we obtain that software. Prior to, this is effective January 1st, 27. Prior to this, it would be if we were to purchase software and it's in a tangible item, like a box, a CD, a flash drive, something like that, that we did not have to pay, or we did only have to pay sales tax at that point. If it was something where we're just logging onto their website to utilize their software, that was not taxable to us. That is changing effective January 1st, 2027. So this slide shows the key updates for our budget. The top section is our revenue. So the student support and professional development discretionary block grant did have a very minor adjustment per ADA. It's still estimated at this point even. So that revenue's going down by roughly about $100,000. Our general fund expenditures are increasing for our workers' comp rate, which at adopted budget, I did tell you that the rate was not shown in 25-26 for that higher workers' comp rate. So this is the impact. It's about $1.5 million to our total general fund. And then these are estimates for the sales and use tax that we would see on the software. So this is a partial year for the general fund, about $234,000. Full years might be projected closer to about $500,000. And then the sales and use tax rate increase that we're going to see effective October 1st. So partial year increase to our general fund expenses about $107,000, with a full year projected at about $144,000. These are the updates to PACS. Their adopted budget is in Fund 9, and the Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant, that was not included in their original revenue, nor was the Student Support and Professional Discretionary Block Grant. So both of those revenues are now going to be included in their 45-day revision. Again, the expense section is revised by the workers' comp rate, the sales tax rate for now on software, and then the sales tax rate increase. Our multi-year expenditures will be revised in correlation to some of those revised revenues. So the impact to the Palmdale School District's unrestricted general fund is shown here. So I put green stars where you can kind of see that we've captured the impact. So the expenditure, the revenues increased, the expenditures increased, but overall, the components of ending fund balance are shown below in the bottom section of this slide. And so for 26-27, we're able to capture, have an impact only to our unassigned, unrestricted general fund ending fund balance. It's about $938,000. For the 2 out years, because we did not have an unassigned ending fund balance for those 2 years, I have placed a star on where the impact is noted. So for 27-28, the impact of $1.2 million less of our ending fund balance is going to be absorbed with that reserve for future year deficit spending. And then for the 28-29 year, our commitment where we're trying to increase our reserve for economic uncertainties by 1 percentage point each year. So that's where we would have lesser of a commitment to be able to absorb those costs for, like I said, majorly the sales tax changes. So the road ahead as far as the enacted state budget and the state budget is there's still budget cleanup that's happening up in Sacramento. The education governance reforms happening in 2 phases. In October, we'll see whether or not the federal government comes out with a budget, or if we might experience what we did last year, which is a government shutdown. We have some other legislative deadlines that are still remaining for this year, the November general election, and the initiatives that might be placed on that, and then the gubernatorial race. But for us, things to look forward to in Palmdale School District is our enrollment changes. What are we going to see next week when all our students show up for school? And then I'll bring you the unaudited actuals in September, where we'll have our final ending fund balance for the 25-26 year. We're still closing the books in fiscal services. And then we'll show you the impact that we'll have for the multi-year projection. You'll see that at our first interim budget report in December. Any questions?
Comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go to item B, second reading, a revision to administrative regulations in exhibits 411.2.5, 4212.5, and 4312.5, criminal records check. Mr. Ryan Beardsley.
Thank you. Administrative regulations and exhibits updated to align with California employment non-discrimination laws, while the Palmdale School District will strictly maintain all mandatory Department of Justice and FBI live scan fingerprinting protocols to ensure student safety. The updated policy explicitly prohibits discriminating against application based on off-the-job, off-premises cannabis use and bars the district from inquiring about prior cannabis history during the recruitment and hiring process.
Okay, item C, second reading, a revision to administrative regulations 4112.6, 4212.6, and 4312.6. Personnel files. Mr. Beardsley.
Administrative regulation updated to comply with Senate Bill 513, which expands the statutory definition of personal records into the California Labor Code. District personnel files must now explicitly include comprehensive documentation of all employer-mandated education and training records, such as safety, professional development, and compliance courses, including specific dates, durations, and skills covered. The updated regulations reaffirm the district's obligation to provide employees and their representatives access to these files within 30 days of a written request, and mandate that these training logs be securely retained for at least 3 years post-termination.
All righty, and the last one is also for Mr. Ryan Beardsley. Second reading of revision to administrative regulations and exhibits 4112.9, 4212.9, and 4312.9, employee notifications.
Thank you. And this is the second reading, and just a point of clarification, this is an update to a board policy, not an administrative regulation. That was just a little clerical error on our part. Policies and exhibits update to integrate critical legislative shifts regarding workplace rights and transparency. Key changes ensure compliance with the Silence No More Act, SB 331, which strictly prohibits non-disparagement or separation agreements that restrict an employee's right to disclose unlawful workplace harassment or discrimination. Additionally, the updated exhibits expand our master checklist of mandated legal notifications to include updated criteria for student behavior, disclosures to teachers, protections for employees who are victims of domestic violence, and extended record retention requirements under SB 807 during active state agency investigations.
Thank you, Mr. Beardsley. Item 5, public input reference closed sessions items. We have one comment card. Ms. Lowy, please come forward. You have 3 minutes.
So one of the items that you're going to be addressing, I'm sorry. Welcome, everybody, back to school. Nice to see the cabinet, the school board, Mr. Maldonado. Sorry for that. Anyway, you've already been presented with a very large document that you're going to be addressing in your closed session. So I won't, all I ask of you is to read it and actually digest all of it, and I know it's a lot. Obviously, probably about 160 hours went into preparing that. So I would ask that you take, maybe not 160 hours to review it, but actually look at it and understand that in the 10 years that I know of, when we as classified members complain about anybody in leadership, There's never been an acknowledgement in the 10 years that I'm aware of where you've said, they might have, gone off the mark a little bit. And, I'd like to think we're all that perfect, but the fact is we're not. And when somebody does something, we need to go, oh, well, maybe we need to correct some stuff. And it seems like we do that a lot with classified, and we do some with teachers, but when it comes to leadership, there's kind of blinders on. And I would like you to know that you as a board, you're supposed to be watching out for all of us. That's why we vote you in, is to watch out for everybody that works for Palmdale School District. And we're just asking you that you take the time, read it, even though it's a lot, and that's why we gave it to you early, and I put it in large print, and we tried to do the best we could so that you could actually, review it, and please take it into consideration, and don't just say, well, they think so, so we're going to say so too. I just want to ask that of you. Thank you for your time, and yay to the next year.
Thank you very much. Seeing no more speakers, we will recess to closed session and be back at 6:30. Thank you. We have one report out of closed session, Mr. Ryan Beardsley.
Thank you. With regard to item 6C, complaint 0501-2526 on a motion by Sharon Vega and seconded by Nancy Smith, the Board of Trustees took action to deny the formal complaint appeal request filed by 051-2526 regarding the findings of an investigation due to a complaint filed against employees. The motion passed unanimously.
Thank you, Mr. Beardsley. It's 6:40. I'd like to now call this meeting to order. Will you please stand? Ms. Zulu-Joe, will you please give us the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you.
Okay, item 12, items of interest. Mr. Kanga.
Welcome back, everyone. Had a great day today, going to some of the professional development sessions. Thank you to our Ed Services and Student Services departments for putting those on. Fantastic time at Cimarron and Quail Valley, Sage, and I also got to spend some quality time with the music teachers, elementary music teachers at Desert Rose. So that was great. Again, welcome back. Looking forward to a great year of learning.
Thank you, Mr. Kanga. Dr. Campbell.
Hello, everybody. I also visited a few professional developments in the district. I learned a lot. I really did. And welcome back to everybody to this wonderful, wonderful school year I know we're going to have. We're going to elevate and excel and reach new heights in learning.
Right, thank you very much. Mr. Beardsley.
So welcome to the 26-27 school year, and thanks to all of our employees who have worked throughout the summer to prepare our classrooms, kitchens, campuses, and lessons for our students returning next week. I'd also like to welcome our new and returning teachers, especially those joining us from around the globe, including Cameroon, Spain, the Philippines, Mexico, and China. PSD is truly a global community.
Thank you, Dr. Fondu.
Thank you again, and welcome back, everybody. We are excited to have you all back. And I spent time visiting schools with Dr. Maldonado. We went to several schools to see how our facilities are looking, to make sure that those classrooms and playgrounds are ready for our kids when they come back. So we did one exciting thing that some of you will see when you get back to your school is the new learning gardens that are at different school sites. So please look out for that when you go back. And I know your principals are going to be talking about who is going to take care of our garden and how the kids will go into that area of the school site. So it's exciting. Thank you, HPLE. I know you guys spearheaded that for all that you do to get our students where they're supposed to be. We are actually one of the first school districts that have a professionally done learning garden for our students. So that's fantastic. And welcome back again.
Thank you, Dr. Esquer.
Yes, thank you. I also want to welcome everybody back to 2026, 2027. And last week, we welcomed our newest teachers at our new teacher academy. And on Monday through Wednesday, we welcomed 80 teachers on average a day. So that was great. We got to say hello and welcome all of them. On Thursday, we welcomed for 2 induction boot camp sessions. I had to write it down to make sure I got the numbers right. 192 teachers and 106 part-time mentors. And on Friday, we welcomed 60 of our special education teacher new family members. And we were able to also welcome our sped coaches who came and helped us that day. And we want to thank Mrs. Vega and Mrs. Smith for breakfast and our PSD Foundation, as well as Cabinet and PETA, thank you for lunch. And of course, our wonderful teacher support department. I want to thank Dr. Bradford and all of our coaches for all of their hard work. And I also want to thank Claudia Washington, who put a lot of work into all that she did with our putting the whole week together. So just thanks to her. And then today our professional learning days began. So I just want to thank all of our site leader hosts because I know that they help us with all of that for their collaboration and patience. All of our classified team members who also help us to put those days together. And then, of course, the entire Ed Services team, because it really takes everyone. It takes all of our leaders, it takes all of our classified team members, And because of their hard work, we had 14 sites and 29 learning sessions over these next 3 days. So welcome back to all of our wonderful teachers, and a big thanks to Claudia Mejuto, my executive assistant, because she's been working really hard to get all of these things together. So a big thanks to Claudia.
Thank you, Dr. Maldonado.
Thank you so much. As we usually as we usually start in Palmdale with a celebration, I have a celebration. I'm very pleased to say that Mr. Hunt has to catch a plane here pretty soon. He's receiving the Black Excellence in Education Award back east. So
Let's give him a hand.
congratulations to him. Please let him know everything that happens here in Palmdale, and congratulations on your achievements.
Congratulations.
With that, just like to thank Community Schools for a wonderful backpack event, and also the foundation. We all team together. Everybody pitches in, so I really, truly appreciate everyone's help. It was pretty hot, wasn't it? Right?
It was just right.
Well, Simone, yes. But I'm saying this because, as you recall, last year when we started school, Edison can call a timeout and pull the plug at any school. So I've been encouraging our principals to just be ready for that, because we don't get notified. If Edison feels that they might have an issue with cables or what have you, they just turn off the light, but we'll work together to ensure that everybody is safe and to ensure that school continues. So I just wanted to say that. I had an opportunity to visit Dos Caminos this morning. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to a new school year 26-27. Let's elevate and excel. I want to thank Ed Services for planning all the PD this week, professional learning. I know you guys are busy, but so are the folks in facilities and M&O. You guys are doing a great job. We had a chance to visit school sites. Thank you so much for prepping our schools. They look terrific. They're ready to welcome our students. And like I told Mr. Ramirez, I will be at Yucca and at DGM on Monday, so we can welcome our kiddos and see all those beautiful smiles, right? That's the most important thing. So again, welcome back, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Maldonado. We'll now go to item 13, communications. Request to address the board are requested to be completed prior to addressing the board. B, request to address the board reference agenda items. There are none. Item C, written communications. Any written communications received would distribute to the board prior to the meeting. Item 14, consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve the consent items 14B through 14G2?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And that passes 5-0. Item 15, action items. A, superintendent. 1, facilities M&O. A, approval to commence formal bidding for repairs in and around the retention basin at Palmdale Academy Charter School in the amount of $250,000. Fundings provided by RRMA funds. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And that passes 5-0. B, educational services. 1, approval of the learning site agreement between Palmdale School District and the California State University San Bernardino for service learning, internship, field work, field practicums, supervised field placement, and practice teaching. This agreement is effective August 10, 2026 through August 9, 2031 at no cost to the district.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. That passes 5-0. 2, approval of Palmdale School District award of request for proposals, RFP 092526, for as-needed site continuous improvement and professional learning support services to multiple vendors. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and that passes 5-0. Item 3, approval of the agreement for services ICS 270000137 with CompTIA to provide a comprehensive program offering structured training designed to help students build in-demand skills and unlock new career opportunities at Palmdale Academy Charter School in the amount of $12,371. This contract is effective August 5, 2026 through July 31, 2027. Funding is provided by the Palmdale Academy Charter Schools GSPP funds. May I have a motion?
So moved.
A motion and a second. Please vote. That passes 5-0. C, business services. 1, purchasing and warehouse. A, approval of the utilization of interlock purchasing system contract 220802 with Presence Learning, Inc. for academic and educational goods and services. This contract term expires October 31, 2027. May I have a motion?
Second.
A motion second, and that passes 5-0. D, human resources. 1, adoption or revision to Board Policy 4100, certificated personnel and board policies and administrative regulations 4200, classified personnel, and 4300, administrative and supervisory personnel. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. That passes 5-0. 2, adoption of revision to board policies 4111, 4211, and 4311, recruitment and selection.
So moved.
Second.
We have motion is second. That passes 5-0. 3, adoption or revision to administrative regulations 4112 and 4212, appointment and conditions of employment.
So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Please vote. That passes 5-0. 4, approval of certificated personnel, employment change of status, ratification of resignation, termination, leave of absence requests, and other.
So moved. Second.
The motion is second. Please vote. That passes 5-0. 5, approval of classified personnel employment, change of status, ratification of resignation, termination, leave of absence, abolishment, establishment of position, and other. Please vote.
So moved.
Second.
Please vote. That passes 5-0. E, special education student services. 1, special education. A, approval of Palmdale School District's request for proposal 102526, awarding agreement for services ICS 270000150 with, Lingual B?
Yes.
The BLLC to provide on-site remote American Sign Language interpreting and translating services in the amount of $500,000. This contract is effective August 5, 2026 through June 30, 2027, with optional extensions in 1-year increments up to a maximum of 5 years. Funding is provided by special educational funds. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. That passes 5-0. B, approval of Palmdale School District's request for proposal 102526, awarding agreement for services ICS 270000151 with Interpreters Unlimited, Inc. to provide on-site remote American Sign Language interpreting and translating services in the amount of $150,000. This contract is effective August 5, 2026 through June 30, 2027, with optional extensions in 1-year increments up to a maximum of 5 years. Funding is provided by special educational funds.
So moved.
Second.
By motion is second, please vote. That passes 5-0. 2, student services. Approval of the award of the request for qualifications 112526, student and staff photography services for the Palmdale School District to establish a qualified vendor pool of 3 photography providers, BSP West LLC, DBA Pictures with Class by Barksdale, James W. Kelm, DBA Studio, One Distinctive Portraiture, and Shutterfly Holdings, Inc., DBA Shutterfly Life Touch, to serve all district school sites and administrative offices. Initial term is effective August 5, 2026 through June 30, 2027, with 4 optional 1-year extensions. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Please vote. That passes 5-0. B, approval of the ratification of the agreement for services ICS 270000129 with B, the Chains Consulting to provide restorative justice professional development and administrative coaching to the staff at Oak Tree Day School in the amount of $119,000. This contract is effective July 1, 2026 through June 30, 2027. Funding is provided by Community Schools Funds. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote.
Mr. Hunt, one more time.
There you go. And that passes 5-0. F, Chief Academic Officer. One, approval of the MOU with Alta Vista Innovative High School to provide a clear administrative credential program at no cost to Palmdale School District. This memorandum of understanding is effective August 5, 2026 through June 30, 2027. May I have a motion?
So moved. I have a question. Are we able to vote on all of these if we go through the names? Yes.
They're all the same.
Are they all the same?
They're all the
Yes.
same. They're all the same.
It's your meeting. You can decide to do that. Just make it clear that you're voting as a block.
Okay.
Read the names for each one, because they all say the same thing,
Okay.
okay? So it's up to you.
So,
You can go for it. I'm not saying no.
so I just got to read the different schools.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. Approval for the MOU with Alta Vista Innovative High School, Antelope Valley Learning Academy, Desert Sands Public Charter School, Keppel Union School District, Lifelong Learning Admission Corp., right? Mission Academy, Mission View Public Charter, Orange County Workforce Innovative High School, San Diego Workforce Innovation High School, and Vista Real Public Charter School to provide a clear administrative credential program at no cost to Palmdale School District, effective August 5, 2026 through June 30, 2027. May I have a motion?
Hey, Board President, hold on, just to make it clear, you're voting as a block?
As a block, yes.
1 through 10.
1 through 10.
Please say that.
Yes.
No.
Second.
Please vote.
There we go.
And that passes 5-0. And thank you, Ms. Trump, for catching that. Item 16, request to address the board, reference non-agenda items. Could we have Mr. Michael Oak come forward with CSEA?
For a moment, you confused me. I knew I hadn't turned in a slip this evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, President Bellador, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Maldonado, Cabinet, all those in attendance here tonight, and those watching on our broadcast. I want to welcome everyone to the first board meeting of 26-27 school year. Personally, I'm just returning from CSEA conference, our 100th in our union's history. In 1927, we started with a small group of custodians who thought it was unfair that they had no representation and no benefits to being a school district employee. And now we're the largest public school district union in the country. Over the summer, classified employees have been working tirelessly to make sure that our schools are ready for students to return. Many other classified employees have just recently returned to their sites, to their departments, and some of them are scrambling to get things ready for next Tuesday and our first day of school. And that's not to mention all the time and effort expended to be ready for the professional development occurring across the district this week. And now for the slightly sadder note to my words tonight. We're all aware of the systemic problem with declining enrollment and the issues that it is causing with even some of our neighboring districts. One merely has to look south to see what problems could lay on the horizon. No, it's not unique to our locale, but is occurring across the state, from the north to the south, from the east to the west. Now, enrollment is one thing, but we know that isn't how we're paid. And despite that, one small group of classified employees within our district that's responsible for helping to ensure that students are at school regularly, day after day after day, have been overlooked and ignored for years. Why our student engagement advocates are not supported so that their essential work can be effective is a question that remains unanswered, at least for me. Is it possible this will change with recent changes in the department? Please don't look for me to be holding my breath. To my mind, and I'm the one here speaking tonight, the district is suffering from a systematic management failure where classified employees are scapegoated for operational issues such as declining enrollment and staffing shortages, while their expertise is ignored in favor of increasing reliance on outside contractors. Instead of addressing the root causes of hiring difficulties for permanent staff, the district is increasingly contracting out to place staff in classrooms. And you just approved 2 contracts for over $650,000, work that can be done by classified employees if we can keep them here in the district. Now, our district is unique in the programs we offer, which should mean we don't have to compete, but we do. I can easily argue that permanent employees provide significantly more value and stability for our students than any contractor is going to. We do get that contracting out is a seemingly simpler solution, but it doesn't make for a better learning environment, and the learning environment directly impacts our student outcomes, and our student outcomes is what we're all here for. The inability to hire sufficient classified staff is a fixable problem that management is choosing to bypass with contractors rather than resolving through competitive recruitment. Our negotiations team has attempted to help address this time after time after time when we're at the table, a place we'll be back to soon, only to have our concerns and options dismissed with little, if any, discussion. We all have to accept the current realities regarding recruitment. Most significantly, simply posting a job is no longer sufficient in order to compete for talent. We have to do more. If we don't, we're failing our students. And if we fail our students, there'll be fewer students here. Now, as I wrap up for the evening and turn over the podium to my union sibling from PETA, I want to talk about this month. It's a special month because it's named after Roman Emperor Augustus Caesar, the first Roman emperor. And it has 31 days because he added days to it before it was known as August so that it would equal the length of July, named after Julius Caesar. We're going to celebrate National S'mores Day this month. Matter of fact, on the day we return to school. Something that's near and dear to my heart, International Left-Handers Day on 13 August. My son is a lefty. I don't have a favorite, so. And very importantly, Women's Equality Day on 26 August to celebrate the adoption of the 19th Amendment. And before I bid you good night, I do want to apologize for no one being here last month. There was some confusion. I was out of town, and everybody seemed to think I was still going to be here. Good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Oak. Mr. Andrew Ramirez, PETA.
Good evening, Board President Velador, Board, Superintendent Dr. Maldonado, and Cabinet. So this school year starting, we're very happy, of course, to be back. I'm sure that, nobody would rather be, Netflixing and all those things that we were doing, just last week or even yesterday. But of course, it always has to come to an end because we have this job that we've chosen to do, which impacts students, our students here in Palmdale every single day. And so we want to, get ready, ramp up the year. We were able to get a full prep day for our staff, right, our certificated staff to set up classrooms so that, those welcoming classrooms that our teachers have been working on for years and years, a lot of times on their own time, they now have some, more paid time to do that. So, that was a big win for PETA, but I think it's a big win for all of us because really welcoming environments, as I've always told Dr. Maldonado, is very important because I did not, have that in my school district growing up, in our neighborhood schools, which, did not reflect a lot of the good things that we have, right? There was a lot that needed to happen. One other important thing that must be mentioned about this school year is it is my daughter's senior school year, right? My oldest. Bittersweet, of course, but she's happy as can be because she knows all of those senior events. And she's over at PAC, so, definitely want to make sure that everything's, good for her. So I've always done what I can to make sure that I support all of our teachers here in the school district and that we support the school district. I took part in the New Teacher Academy, as, we always do, where we welcome the new teachers for that time, to present to them, to welcome them to the district. We provide them some lunch, right? This year was sandwiches, to cut down a little on some of the time, but it's great to see those teachers coming to our district. But, we always do want to, caution it is because if we have this many, right, 85 this year that were supposed to be at that new teacher, some of them hired last year in the middle. The year before we had, close to that same amount. We had 40-some retirees. I get it. I get we have turnover, but we do want to take steps to always make sure we retain those teachers, whichever teachers we can here in this district, because it makes it better for our students. All of that experience, if it just walks out the door to another school district, or somewhere, down the road somewhere else to do something, that we'd rather have them here in our school district. So, that's always the goal of PETA's negotiations, is to recruit the best, but, also retain the best teachers, because we have always said we have the best teachers here in Palmdale. We just need to keep them here in Palmdale, right? So, we welcome all the teachers back off of their summer break. Many of them did work ESY. Many of them may not even have had, time or as much time as we like to have. And, we welcome back all of our admin and everyone else who may not have had even more time, right? Or as much time either. But whatever time we took to rest, recharge, and we come back ready to teach, for us to learn during these 4 days, but ready to welcome those students back on Monday. And I will be there with Dr. Maldonado at Yucca, which was one of the schools I worked at. One of the schools I would have worked there forever. I loved it there at Yucca. And, I had to leave ultimately, but, I always have something in my heart for Yucca. And then I'll be there at Million as well. So everybody have a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. We do not have to recess to closed session, so we'll go with the board member comments. Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, mine will be few because I just getting my voice back, as Raul can tell you. Thursday I had no voice, but I just want to welcome everybody back and just begin with joy and work with the kids and everybody have a good time while you're doing that, because the kids learn more when we have happy people working with them. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Smith. Mr. Hunt.
Yeah, I welcome back. Happy new school year to you all. I'm excited for the 26-27 school year. I will get our theme down one day. I thank you all for the recognition. I'm excited. I'm headed to the airport as soon as we're done. So it is the work of you all that I get to celebrate. So thank you all for what you do. I do want to start. I thought Dr. Maldonado was going to do this. Last month, Simone, Sharon, and I went to a conference, the California Association for Black School Educators Conference, and we were surprisingly given an honor for Palmdale School District, and let me read it here, in recognition of groundbreaking leadership in advancing education equity for Black students. And they talked about our community schools, what we're doing with our STEAM programs, our expanded learning programs. And yes, we received the honor, but this is the work that you all do, and we appreciate the work that you do to support our students. So I want to recognize you all today for that honor that we were able to receive. I also got to attend our leadership training. Doing the ropes course with our administrators. That was That was a choice. I'm glad I was there, but I'm excited to get to connect with you all every year for our leadership training. So thank you all for what you do. I'm looking forward to this year, and I hope that you have a great next few days before school starts.
All right, Mr. Hunt, Mrs. Vega.
Time's gone fast. I even forgot about leadership back there and then. It's just, anyway, it's been good to be out there, meet all the new teachers. It's been interesting. I met one today from Richmond, and I said, wow, you took a pay cut. And she said, yes, I did. But she came here to work for Palmdale, and because she needed to live in the Antelope Valley to be with other family members. As always, you are all appreciated for everything you do every day. Have a great year.
Thank you, Mrs. Vega. Ms. Zulucho?
I don't know if I should just welcome everybody back, because it looked like you didn't go anywhere, because I've seen everybody every week. So, but I'm hoping and praying that everybody have a healthy and happy year. And thank you for everything that you do for our children. We really appreciate it. And thank you again for Dr. Campbell's team, but community school, you know, that's deep in my heart, because even though school was closed, we had so many families that came through and were very appreciative of what they received. And I thank all the people who volunteered to make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Zulujo. And as was said before up here, over and over, none of these awards that this district gets, or the places we have to go and get recognized, could not happen with all of you. And for that, we're forever grateful. Thank you all. I know this is going to be a wonderful year, and we will exceed all expectations. Can I have a motion to?
So moved. Motion to adjourn.
We can't vote.
Please vote.
It still won't let us.
Let's do a voice vote.
There we go.
Oh, try again. Okay. And that passes 5-0. Thank you. We'll see you next meeting.